Hey, great day to you all. I hope that you've all woken up super grateful to be alive again another day in this experience. And I hope that you've set that high vibe. How do you do that? By telling yourself that you're grateful again for your experience. It's as simple as that. So, again, I'm live on 2 platforms so everybody can get the most out of this morning's live. So I welcome you all, heartfully. All right. Guys, so I was asked, Tobi, how do you get through things easily? Because you seem to just sail through things so easily. Well, there's a couple of things. And we're all very different. We're all unique, right? And being unique in nature, our situations are going to vary. But we all have people we have to deal with. We all have circumstances and situations to deal with. We all have life to deal with. Well, how do you deal with it in a way that's healthy for you? Well, primarily you got to see it for what it is. What do I mean by that? Well, we look at situations and people and things and circumstances, and we wish it and hope it to be different than what it truly is. And that's our biggest problem, is because we don't look at it for really what it is. We get stuck in a perpetual cycle of, why did this happen? Or how could it have been avoided? Or what could I have done better? Can't do that to yourself. The easiest way to free yourself from a turmoil is to see things for what they are. And nothing but. Why wouldn't you want to do that? So, how do you look at things calmly and see them for what they are? Is you've got to stop making excuses for what they are. You have to kind of look at your part in all of it. Because if there's any situation that you're dealing with or entangled in, well, you have a part of that too that you're accountable to and accountable for. Simple as that. Guys, it's getting warm in here. I'm just going to open my door. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so, yeah, like I was saying, look, in order for you guys to deal with stuff head on, you got to see it for what it is. Can't make excuses for it. Can't sit there wishing it would be different. Can't sit there hoping that it didn't happen. You got to see it for what it is. Life experience, like I mentioned on a couple of my lives, it's not experience unless you're living it. And we all have what you would call, because I don't see any good and bad in life, it's all learning. But look, we all have ups and downs for a reason. Why? Because there's going to be skills and things that you acquire out of both ups and downs. So what do I mean by that? Well, when you're in your high times and you're thriving and you're feeling good, well, you're going to learn a lot of things that you won't out of the darkness. Okay? What do I mean? Well, when you're in the dark and you're having hard times, you're going to learn courage, bravery to change things. Hey, beautiful, I'm here to spread word about Jesus and that he is coming soon. Well, hey, beautiful, lots of love to you. I appreciate you. And trust me when I tell you the Most High has me fully. And that's why I'm out here spreading love too. Because we all need it. All right? So welcome. Welcome. Guys, when you're living the low times, you're going to find strength. You're going to find stamina. You're going to find determination. You're going to find direction. When you're floating through the high times of life, well, you're going to find high times of appreciation and, better interactions and showing up as a better person. But you can't always be on a high and you can't always be on a low. So how do you look at things clearly? Well, see them for what they are. And in every situation that we may live, there is learning. It's all learning. So, no matter what you are dealing with, instead of beating yourself up about it, what do I mean? Instead of sitting there shaming yourself, shaming the other party, blaming yourself for blaming the other party, look at the learning and look for the lessons in it all. Because there are lessons and learning to be acquired out of every situation that you live, no matter what it is. It's to strengthen your own character as a being. But honestly, what you really have to look at, though, and judge these situations from is the discernment of your heart. Really. You got to stay out of your head about these things. Because you're supposed to feel the way it makes you feel. Whether these things are good for you, good for your life, or they aren't. And your body's going to give you these answers. Not your mind. Your mind is going to run you in circles like it's got nothing better to do all day. Stay in your heart. When you think about something or something arises or you have to deal with something, use the discernment in your heart. Does it feel right or does it feel wrong? No matter what situation it is. Let that be your compass. Let it guide you. Because I'm going to remind you guys all today. If you're having conflict and chaos in your life, it is because you have been careless with the discernment that you're given to use in your life. What do I mean by that? Well, look, I'll remind you guys all today. If you don't stay in your heart space and the governing force of your being, what's going to happen is that energy is going to move through you. Well, it's going to hit your reptilian brain. That's an instinctual brain. All right? And then it's going to hit your emotional center. And then it's going to hit your creative brain. Well, that's not really your creative brain. But with the laws of the universe, like I was mentioning to you guys 2 days ago, thoughts manifest themselves into our realities. So, if this is truly the case, then all of the shaming and the blaming and the guilting and the denial and the judgment and the non-acceptance of the situation, it's going to affect you as a person. How could it not? Your thoughts manifest in feelings in your body. They just do. Okay? All the time. If you tell yourself that you're happy, you will feel the effects of that. Do you know that just simply even smiling releases hormones, happy hormones? So if you continuously keep your face like you're stern or you're angry or you're upset, your body's going to release those same hormones also. You have to be self-aware about how you're governing within your being before you really can honestly analyze the situations that you're having in your life. They don't just come about. There's a cause and effect to everything. Everything. So the question that I was asked that fueled this live is, how do I get through things so easily? Well, because I don't deny them, number one. I don't blame any party in any situation, number two. I don't shame, guilt, none of that. I look at every situation knowing that there is something that I need to take out of this for learning. No matter what it is. And it could be the hardest situations that I have to live. It doesn't matter. Because the harder it is to live, well, the more learning is coming out of it. When things are always easy, well, how much do they really affect us? They really don't. It's the biggest things that you've had to get through in life that have really been pivotal moments for you. It's not the everyday living that's easy. So you have to see things for what they are. So let me just break it down like this. I'm starting over again because I went all in a situation. But that, you know what? I could sit here now and beat myself up about it, sit there and shame and blame myself about it not being a good situation that I allowed myself to get into. But guess what? That situation, no matter how hard it was to live, it was one of the best things that could have ever happened to me. Because within that, I found great knowledge about my own self. You see, and learning all the time is not so much outside in the situations that we're living. It's actually internal learning for our own being. So when you can accept that for what it is, then you're receiving of the lessons. You're receiving of the learning, because our learning never ends. The learning starts when we incarnate, and the learning stops when we... Hi, sir. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm a woman. I know I got a shaved head, and a lot of people shame and blame that too, but no, I'm all woman. Have a great day, though. Hi. But honestly, I have to see things for what they are, and and for the learning genuinely in it. Like, we can sit there and with our own imagination create whatever it is that we want to take out of anything that we are living. But that doesn't mean that what you're living and what you're feeding into your own mind about it is facts, or it's the truth. So you have to watch that too. Are you being truthful with your own self when you're dealing with anything in your life? Because you can't lie to yourself about things. How do we do this? We make excuses for people. We accept intolerable behavior from people according to titles we've given them and meanings we've given them in our life, which is completely wrong. But it's okay, because that's how we were conditioned to be. But as adults, you no longer have to be like that. There's a choice to be made every day as the new person that you are. How are you a new person today? Very easily. You lived yesterday. With the law of the universe that everything's constantly changing, nothing stays the same. Not even you. I woke up a brand new person today. Well, so did you all. No matter who you are. So yesterday no longer exists other than in your memory of it. But what have you been imprinting in your brain as memories? Because I don't allow anything from yesterday stamp in me other than the wisdom of it. See, and that's how I get through things easily. I don't carry things forward as if they're... No. I don't live in the past, it's gone. And I don't live in the future, it's not here yet. I live right now for what it is. And that's the only thing that I can do. But that's okay to do. And it gives you a sense of security within your own being. And it also gives you an openness to the capacity of which you can handle whatever's coming your way. Because if you're stuck still in emotions from yesterday or the day before or 10 years ago, or you've allowed things to happen, what I mean by is you've allowed your past to still affect you today, that's a mere choice because it no longer exists. It only exists in your own mind of it all. And that's why I tell people, go into those memories and remove the emotional stored charges that are there. Because that stuff runs automatically and bases all your beliefs, your ideas, your speech, your thoughts, your actions, the whole bit. So you really have to go in there and correct your own being. And nobody can do that for you. And then you've got to really watch From what perspective are you even seeing your situations from? You see, like, I know my perspective of things. I'm open. I'm truthful with myself. And I'm truthful with others. I don't care how it makes them feel. Because the truth is the truth. So people can deny the truth all they want. But it doesn't stop it from being the truth. Simple. Everybody in this world right now is feeling the energetic shift of everything going on. It's facts. We're influenced by energy every day. But in order to be okay in the flow of the energy that's influencing you, you got to get right within your own energy. And check the perspective that you're governing from, that you're actually seeing things from, because so within is so without. So if you're not dealing with things properly on the outside, it's because you're not dealing properly with stuff within. It all stems from with what's going on with you and how you see things. And that's the key thing to it all. I would say, honestly, the reason why I can get over things the way I do is because of my perspective of things. Everything's for learning. I'm totally grateful for everything and anything coming my way, no matter what it is. Because there are tools and skills that I need to level up to advance my learning. And that's how I see life. It's like I'm a professional student of life. And yes, I've been spiritually awakened. And yes, I did ancestral cleanup. Yes, I've done karmic cleanup. Yes, I'm closing out my life cycles this time around. So, with all of that inner work, well, if I can't be okay within myself, well, then I can't be okay in anything I'm doing. Any interaction, any hands-on thing I'm doing, come on. It's a total conflict. So where does it all stem from? It doesn't stem from a capacity to just work through things easily. It stems from a capacity of what I allow for my being, which is total balance and harmony. I know what it feels like to be on the edge of death. Okay? I see you. I consider myself, I died that day. So, hey, you know, the way I see things is very different because I have an overstanding of my being. Not just an inner standing. I know what I can make possible for myself through the power of possibilities that fuel me, which is full of infinite possibilities. What is that contained in? Infinite unconditional love and the power of the all-knowing. So, do I want to stay in alignment with that? Yes, I do. So, that's up to me to govern my being to stay in balance and have a clear, open perspective at all times. And that's what gives me the true ability to be able to get through things a lot easier than another. Because I allow the discernment of my heart to guide me and I don't think about things. I really don't. I allow myself to feel it for what it is. And that's it. Move on. So, there was another question that I was asked. And, you know, guys, I really appreciate that you think that I have some supernatural ability to get through things so smoothly. But it is because we all have it. I have nothing that you guys don't have for yourselves. We're all connected. We're all one. That's the primary law of this whole experience. So I'm not sitting here with any knowledge that you all don't have. You actually do have all of the knowledge because it's all contained within your soul. That's giving you life. But as long as you're ungrateful that you're alive, well, then you're not using your full power of possibility. As long as you're shaming, blaming, or guilting another, it's the farthest thing from what's fueling you. Whether you can love yourself wholeheartedly, well, that's another story. And everybody thinks that love is an emotion, but it's the farthest thing from it. It is actually the force of life, force of creation, force of everything. So, you're either in alignment with that and working with what's fueling you, or you're not, by simple choice alone. So, the cause and effect of that is going to leak out into every aspect of your life. So that's where you got to start looking at any situation, interactions, and all of that from. Instead of looking outwardly at what is happening, take a look at yourself, your own being, and your own interactions within that. You have to. That's called self-accountability. You got to be accountable, because it's not things just happen to us because of another person, place, situation, or scenario. No. No. These are a combination of our own choices that have resulted for these effects. Now, you can lack the self-accountability for that and blame, oh, okay, well, I've had a rough life, and this is the family I come from, and a broken home, and you know what, I've got about 2,000 excuses like that if I wanted to. Oh, I'm addicted to drugs, or I'm drinking my sorrows. Well, okay, I did that too for years. Am I doing it now? No. Clearly you can see that by my face. Okay? So, it's all about choices, about who you choose to be as your own being primarily before dictating what's going on in your life, because it all correlates. All of it. It all does. You know? Because we could all be better beings in every situation that we've lived. Yeah. Been more open, been more receiving, been more compassionate, caring, loving individuals, no matter who it is. Because I know I could have been like that too. So that's why today, being a new person, I literally, baby steps, make better choices for myself and everybody around me every day. One day, I will grow into the best version of myself. But until then, I'm going to love myself unconditionally through whatever I'm living and realize that it's only for learning. That's all it is. We give it so much meaning, and we let it cripple us with the emotional charges it sends through us and all of this overthinking about things. And just be, and just, you know what? Look at things that, hey, no matter what's happening, you've created it to happen. You can't deny that. So the easiest way to handle anything is to be accountable for the choices that you've made in your life. Don't beat yourself up. Say it's all good. Let's get through this then. I learned from it. Okay, perfect. As long as you learn from something, you won't get caught in a repetitive cycle. But if you don't learn it, you're going to relive it until you do learn from it. So, how much learning do you have to repeat? It's like going into the same grade at school and being stuck there for 5 years. Nobody wants that to happen. But hey, don't get me started on the school system. Because, hey, we should be teaching kids about their truest power, not conforming them and molding them. But I guess, hey, that's what happens when our biofields are being fed off of to run all this technology, when literally we are the artificial intelligence, right? So, hey, and it's our energy that's tapped into the big energy, and in all imperfect design, hey, we should be able to be communicating just by sending frequencies of thoughts to one another. We're all connected. So guys, it really depends on how you're looking at life from your perspective to know how you're handling your stuff. Because if you're not handling your own being properly, you're not handling anything external properly either. It just doesn't work. There's a total conflict there. Like, doesn't matter what I have to live. It's okay. No matter what it is I have to live, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I've reached that stage in my life. Hey, that I'm good with it no matter what. Bring it on. That's how I deal with things. I don't shy away from things. And that's another thing. You know, we all avoid situations and scenarios and people, places, and things from when they don't make us feel good. No, 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 no. You don't do that. You don't shy away from anything in your life, no matter what it is. If something does not make you feel good, you address it in a calm, loving manner, and then you release it. Let it go. Don't hold anything that you shouldn't be within your being. Ever, ever, ever. It's just not a good thing to do. This stuff causes effects within your body biologically, and it throws your body completely out of whack. So don't do that to yourself. You don't have a reason to do that to yourself other than what you believe. Now, if you believed that you were an amazing person and that you could actually get through anything, well, that is exactly how your being will govern itself. So you need to start believing better thoughts about your own being in order to breeze through things easily outside of you. When you know who you are, there's no person, place, situation, or scenario that can take that from you. But we give permissions to people, places, situations, and scenarios to allow them to affect us. And it shouldn't be like that. We have to see things. Cade Buchanan, mean streets of the Okanagan. The salute. I salute you. Grand Rising. Grand Rising, I'm happy to have you here. Welcome. Welcome. Blessings. Lots of love out there to you. But we really... So, sorry, I got distracted here. But guys, really, you got to take, like I was saying before, you really, really have to see how you're operating as a being to know, hey, what do you believe about yourself to be right? What do you believe about what you're worth? What do you believe about what you expect out of life? Because you shouldn't expect anything from any person, place, situation, or scenario. Expectations lead to disappointments. So, the big question that fueled this live was, how do I breeze through things? Because I stay in balance within my own being at all times. I don't give things permission to affect me. And we do that to ourselves. We allow and extend energetic permissions to people, places, things, scenarios, according to titles and belief systems of others. No, I don't do that. I know who I am. I know what I believe. I know what I believe to be right because I feel it in the discernment of my heart. I don't have to think about that. I don't need another to tell me what I'm feeling in my heart. And hey, and after my heart failing twice, I'm quite clear about where my heart is and how to stay tapped into it. Okay? And that's huge. Because, you know what? Even after being spiritually awakened and everything, I still was so far away from remaining in my heart space. I was. But that's how, okay, there was another question. So how did you get over your ex so easily? Because right now I'm dealing with some shit with an ex and I can't. Okay, look. The easiest way for me to have gotten over my ex was this. He was never mine to begin with. Factually. Yeah, it may shock a lot of people. But yes, I lived with him for 2.5 years. Yes, it was a very intense relationship. Yes, it was very abusive in nature. Yes, because I'm an empath and a light worker, and what I trigger in people, I trigger the demons. But you see, I'm prepared for it because I've loved my demons already. So, I triggered these things in people. But he was never mine to begin with. He never committed to me. I committed to him. But he never committed to me. How do I know this? Because after he moved in with me, right away, He was meeting other women. So he was lying to me, cheating to me, abusing the shit out of me, destroying everything in my vicinity. He never committed to me. So, what's the easiest way to walk away from that? Is seeing it truly for what it is. A learning lesson. Had he committed to the relationship, none of that would have happened. So, instead of me looking at the 2 years of what genuinely happened and me having a heart attack and all of the stuff in between, simple as this. I see it for what it is. What is it? Okay, well, that was a relationship that didn't work because I committed to something all in with an individual that never committed to even being 1 foot in. That's all. But that's okay. Nothing to cry about. It's called, all right, big girl, let's go. Get on with your life. That can only affect me for as long as I allow it to. And the minute I said, okay, I'm done with this, well, the next couple of months was difficult only because it was a constant tug of war for personal belongings and to close the doors in my life and to just rid myself of it. But now I'm like, I'm okay. It's like it's not that it never happened, but I already feel like it happened 5 years ago. That's how distant it is for me. It's no longer a part of my now. Why? Because I live in my now. I can't keep looking back at what happened. So what? It was experience. I know that I will never allow something like that to ever happen to me again. But that's why it had to happen. Okay? I don't regret that relationship at all. Not at all. It made me a better person. It made me a stronger individual. It made me see the things that I genuinely do not want in my life. So without that experience, I wouldn't have those boundaries today that I do. So it was a blessing. Cheers to that. So, there is good in every bad situation. I see that all the time. I don't see something as good or bad. I see it as a lesson. What is the learning in that for me to make me a genuinely better person? Better person. Well, Montreal is home, actually, but love the Okanagan for travel. Blessings. Travel is amazing. You should see as much as you possibly can while you can. Because that's what life is all about. Getting the most out of the experience and not tying us down to anything that doesn't feel good. That's the genuine truth of life. For us not to get stuck in trying to search so much meaning to everything. That's another problem with getting over situations is people seek meanings in things like it's supposed to mean something. It only means as much as you allow it to mean in your life. Seriously. From your belief systems, your thoughts, all of the rest of it. Don't allow that. For what? Let it be what it is. See it clearly. Because you know what? As above, so below, eh? So if your head is in chaos, well, so is your body. It's as simple as that. That's why I stay out of this. This has a job to do for me. My head has a job to do for me. What is that job? Hey, I breathe. I digest food. I've got all kinds of hormones and chemicals going on in my body. I've got a central nervous system. I've got a sympathetic nervous system. Hey, come on. That shit's got work to do, and it is busy all day. All day. So, stay out of your head space. And that's another problem with getting stuck in problems or situations or circumstances. People get stuck in this repetitive like a hamster on a wheel, just spinning those thoughts. Well, every thought you're having, you're producing a chemical reaction in your body. So, when you realize that, you're... What part of Canada are you from? Quebec. Where they're trying to lock us down to the French. Yeah. You know what, though? It really doesn't matter where we're from. We're all one. And you know what? All of these borders have been installed by this whole system of doing things. Guess what? There should be no borders. There should be no restrictions and limitations and separations between the people. That's how I see it. Because we're all one. All of us. The only thing that separates us is our free will and our choices. Yeah. So you and I, we're the same. The only thing that separates us is our choices. Why do we look different? Because we believe we look how we look. Yeah. So, seriously. But you and I are the same. We're all one. No matter what anybody likes to label as good, bad, whatever. Like, everybody's on this angel and demons thing, the good and the evil. Well, guess what? It's all one. No matter what it is, it's all one. So, when you embrace the totality of everything and you just love it all, wow. We're a part of everything and all. So, hey, everything ever created is fueling us. No matter what it is. It's all inside of us. So, it really does have a huge... How your perspective of how you see yourself is huge about how you see the world. And knowing yourself, well, it assists you with knowing things in your experience. But you got to come from a knowing and not a thinking. It's two different things, eh? It's two different things. How do you know? Well, you follow your intuition of knowing. You just know. Like my heart is governed by the infinite, unconditional love that fuels me. Okay? My knowing in that, I allow myself to be tapped into that no matter what. Because that just knows. And everything ever created, no matter whether it's good, bad, it's all one. Everything is one. So, this is why, weird, I feel I saw you in Montreal before. Wow, you could have seen me across Canada. Possibility of that. Very possible. There's possibilities of you could have seen me in the States. You could have seen me on an island. There's many possibilities. Very, very many. There's a lot. Okay, so, guys, I'm not going to stay out here too much longer. I just want to wish you guys all an amazing day. I was asked, how do you breeze through things easily? Well, you clean up the perspective that you got about yourself, so you can clean up what you're seeing outside of you. Because if you're in turmoil within your mind and within your being, you're not dealing or handling anything outside of you properly. Biggest key is to see things for what they are. Be a realist in your life. Not sitting there wishing and things would have been different and you could have changed this, you could have changed that, whatever. You know what? Scrap all that wasted energy into wasteful thoughts. This is what I mean about having thoughts also too that are disempowering, or if they're actually giving you life. Because things that we do, it's either empowering to us or it's disempowering. There's no in between. So, get real with this stuff that you're living with. No matter what it is. And that's how I do it. That's how I breeze through it. Because no matter what's coming, it's okay. Bring it on. Come on. It's okay. Because the amount of what I've already lived in my life, there's nothing that can affect me in my life right now that is bigger than what I've already had to live. Nothing. That's why I'm at the point where I have no fear. It's a bring it on attitude. Because you know what? I don't think there's another human being that could have endured the magnitude of my life so far. And come back from death as many times as I have. That's why I'm like, yeah, bring it on. And what? Scared of what? Death? Never. Because I already know what's waiting for me. It just won't accept me yet because I got a job to do here. So, hey, straight up, fear what? Nothing. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Why even be scared? You don't. It's false evidence. It's all an illusion. Know who you are. No, it's just an experience. It's all you're here for. To gain wisdom and experience. And get the most out of it while you're doing it. So if it's any harder than that, it's because that's genuinely how you're making it to be. And there's no other reason for that. So, if things aren't going well around you, for you, well, you got to take a look at why it's happening within your own being. Self-accountability. Don't blame and shame others for things that you've chosen in your life, no matter what it is. Yes, and Handy. Hi. Hi. I'm about to jump off of here, but I welcome you. Lots of love to y'all. Okay, so guys, you know what? Set that high vibe. Don't get stressed out. You know what? Just let things be. The more you think about things and the more that you stress yourself about things, the more you're going to be in turmoil. Anytime you're feeling stressed, your body's going to constrict. Everything's going to tighten. Everything's going to... Well, you're not doing any benefit for yourself allowing that. Gotta breathe life into you. Always stay open. Always stay with a capacity that things can flow easily through you. We tense up. We don't, relax. Relax. It's okay. As long as it's not life-threatening and your life is not on the line, well, you've got nothing to worry about. Literally. And if your life is on the line, you can guarantee that your instinctual reptilian brain is going to kick in. Simple. So, get right with that today too. So you really don't have anything to worry about. Get yourself out of the survival mode of it all, of what you're allowing for your own being. And then you won't be in survival mode around you. Simple as that. Guys, I love you all. Have a super blessed day. I'm sending you guys all love. All of you guys. Time to clean up the house since before my mom comes back from the night shift at the hospital. You know what? Have an amazing day. Have an amazing day. Okay? Sending lots of love out to you all. Have a great day, guys. Set a high vibe. Go easy on yourself. See, that's another thing. The harder you are on yourself is the harder your life is. Stop being so hard on yourself. You got to live it to learn it to, stop being so hard on yourself. Okay? Love yourself today. Unconditionally, no matter what. Tell yourself you're okay. And genuinely believe it. And you'll feel the effects of just that. Guys, I love you all. Have a great day. Set that high vibe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.